welcome to the Vita Cast, episode 97. It's your host, Tyler Woltoff, with Kyle Wakeling. What's up, Kyle?
Ahoy, hoy, Tyler. How's it going?
Oh, it's an interesting day already. So, you already know, because we had to get all this figured out, but you listeners are going to get in the loop now. So, I get home, we're about to record, or I'm about to get set up for recording, and I look over at my router, and I'm like, oh no. No, and it's flashing the whole like you don't have internet type flashy lights. I was like, this is great. So Kyle and I are recording the podcast using my phone's mobile hotspot right now. So hopefully it holds up and we can make it to the very end of this episode and you can be proud of us for doing what we can. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
And hopefully we don't sound too bad, or I don't sound too bad because my voice is coming over the internet, so...
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on with this phone right now, so just make me proud, phone. This is the first time I've ever used
Don't
the
ring.
hotspot. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, well, this is the Vita Cast. We talk about the Vita when we can, and hopefully it holds up. So let's get into that little old Vita with what we've been playing. I'll go first this time. I'm going to let Kyle chill for a second.
Thank you.
So I've been playing a few things, mainly Persona 4 Dancing All Night. I finally beat the game, and it's a bittersweet feeling. It feels real good to beat a game and not have it on my backlog anymore. But man, it's so sad to have that game over with. It wasn't as good as Persona 4 Golden, but just getting to relive those, or not relive, but go through a whole new story with those characters was so much fun. And it just I had a smile on my face the entire time, and I was like, oh man. And when it ended, the credits rolled, I was like, oh no. This is the last time I'll ever see these characters, really, unless I jump back into Persona 4 Golden, which I might do just because I want to enjoy the story again. But anyways, I finally beat it.
So Persona 4 crying all night, Tyler?
Pretty much. But it was so good. You need to get it, Kyle. You need to get it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Everyone keeps saying that, but I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think you'll be disappointed, but you never know.
I'm farther into maybe territory than I was before, so there you go.
That's good. All right, well, so now I think I'm working on the platinum. I'm not sure if I'm going to go, like, actually get it. I have a decent amount of the trophies, and the rest of the trophies don't seem too difficult. It's more of time-consuming trophies, really. So I'm like, you know what? I think this game deserves a platinum. I can at least say I platinumed a Persona game. But we'll see. I also played a little bit of Super Meat Boy, playing a little bit of that. I've been doing recordings for it because people love to watch me rage on games, and this is a Rage Fest game, so I need to do more of that. But I played a little bit of that earlier last week. So yeah. Also, I played a little bit of God, what's it called? Oh, Invoker's Tournament. Working on the review, and that is taking time. I don't know why, but I am struggling on trying to write this review. Like, I write, like, a paragraph. I'm like, yeah, that looks good. And then I'm like, you know what? Time to go to bed. Wake up the next day, look at it, and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? Delete it. Rewrite it. Write another. It's like, oh, God, it's just pissing me off. So hopefully I can get that done soon, because it's frustrating me right now. So I'm just going to forewarn you, Kyle, that you might just look at the review and be like, Tyler, what was going on?
I can see it now.
It's throwing me curveballs. Anytime I write something, it just doesn't feel right. It's just, oh, man. You'll see, Kyle. Can't wait.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. What else? I think that might be it. I believe. Oh, this is kind of a funny story. So you know that Corpse Party game that just came out?
Yep.
So I got the Ever After edition or whatever that comes with the blah, 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 the art book and the CDs, like the soundtrack.
Right.
Did you see my post on Twitter?
No, I did not.
So I did an unboxing video, which I haven't uploaded yet, but I decided to take a picture and post it on Twitter real quick because in the middle of the video, like, I'm opening the soundtrack CD or whatever. And I'm like, oh, one of my CDs is falling out. That's weird. And I'm trying to put it back in, and I was like, wait a minute, there's another CD under this. They sent me 2 of the disc 2s.
What the hell?
So I have
That's
3
kind of weird.
discs. I have disc 1 and then 2 disc 2s.
That's kind of odd.
It was really weird. I was like, that's new. I was like, all right, I guess I got an extra copy. Woohoo! Why couldn't it be the game?
Maybe that guy who was packing that box had a quota that day, and he's like, "You have to pack 300 CDs," and he just started putting 2 in every one.
Maybe. Maybe. It was weird. It threw me off. But anyways, I got that, but I haven't played it yet because I literally did the unboxing video while I was waiting for you to get ready for the podcast, Kyle. So yeah. And I also bought a game that I don't know if I should have, but I bought it. I bought WRC 5, Kyle.
Oh, Lord, Tyler. You're going to be begging me to get online for those trophies next.
I know. I haven't even looked at the trophies yet. So I'm going to be so mad if there's online trophies. I'm probably going to do that first. I'm going to be like, I'm just going to play online all the time. Anyways, let's go to what you've been playing, Kyle. I'm dragging this on way too long.
Well, mine's a lot simpler than yours.
All right, that's good.
First up, I played some Hot Shots Golf because now that I was playing it on my PlayStation TV, I'm addicted even more again and have to have it. So I was playing some of that. Shot some course records, which was really nice. So that was pretty cool. And I got some videos that are going up still from the PlayStation TV, so watch for those on the channel. What else? Oh, I played some Killzone Mercenary, but not single player because my internet was pretty much shit the last week. I was almost, at that bandwidth cap, so I was watching what I was doing and not uploading things. So I didn't do any single player videos, but I was playing multiplayer and just kind of messing around with that. So it's good to get into some of that, although there's some guys, it seems like they spend their whole life on there because I cannot even, move. And I'm, dead. I think the one match I went into, there was some dude and he had, maxed out his rank or whatever, and he killed me, 29 times. I was like, this is ridiculous. So, yeah. Interesting, but fun, for sure. And I also played... some Code Realize Guardians of Rebirth, so that's my next review game. I'm kind of midway into Chapter 1, so I'm not too far, but I passed the prologue, and so far I haven't had any, real choices, so I'm not really sure what kind of visual novel this is. This might be one of those pure don't do anything at all, just keep hitting go visual novels, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm liking it so far, though. It's interesting.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Without spoiling too much, the premise is pretty much you play as this girl who is basically considered a monster, and as she's being carted away because she's a monster, some dude saves her, and then it kind of goes from there. So it's interesting. It's definitely something I haven't played, a game type and a story type I haven't played before. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I played, so pretty easy.
Well, all right. Let's jump into those reviews. I'll take the first one, and that would be Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows, the update. It was reviewed by Liam. He gave it a 3.6 out of 5, and he says, quote, "It's difficult to call Plague of Shadows an essential expansion to the Shovel Knight experience, but if you're seriously craving the need to play through the game and experience it in a different way, then this is worth a look. However, if you don't want your fond memories of the original game tarnishing at all, then it'd be best to avoid this one." End quote. Interesting. I played a little bit of the update, and I enjoyed it, but it is really difficult. It is very hard, and the original game is pretty challenging at times. So, yeah.
It's ultra hard mode.
Yeah, I didn't play that far. I don't even know if I got past the first level. So I might just not be good at the game. I don't know. Anyways, I don't think you care about Shovel Knight at all, or even have it, do you, Cal?
I might buy it if it was cheap, but I'm not super interested now.
I gotcha. Well, all right. Take the next review, Kyle.
All right, the next review from the week is Space Hulk. It was reviewed by Brad, and he gave it a 2.8 out of 5, and he says, Quote, some games work well on a smaller screen and some do not. Space Hulk clearly does not make the transition to a handheld very well. Certain design decisions make the game difficult to navigate and frustrating to play. The fact that the controls and can be inconsistent and non-responsive at times doesn't help matters. Still, it does do a decent job of replicating the board game feel of the original game while providing an interesting take on multiplayer that adds a bit of fun. End quote. So, not a lot of praise there from Brad on Space Hulk, but I don't know, maybe if you're super interested in it, it's worth a look. It's expensive. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm not really interested in it, so that price tag is way too high for me to even consider it. And this review also solidifies my stance.
Well, there you go.
All right. Next up, we've got Heroes of Loot. This was reviewed by Zach, and he gives it a 3.1 out of 5, and he says, quote, Heroes of Loot has some fun, enjoyable moments. However, it isn't for everyone, and those that it is for may not find much to do once they finish it, end quote. So, pretty straightforward quote right there. I have not played it. I don't know if I'm ever going to play it. It is pretty cheap, but it's just a game I don't feel like I need or want to add to my backlog. So, what about you, Kyle?
Nope.
All right. Read the full review, people, if you're interested in that one. So next up, what do we got, Kyle?
All right, last review of the week is Super Meat Boy. It was reviewed by Charlie, and he gave it a 4.9 out of 5. High praise there. And this is what he had to say. Quote, Super Meat Boy lands on PlayStation platforms, and boy is it a welcome release. With great platforming and a learning curve that ensures you are always challenged, you will find yourself coming back to this game in order to get the best run. Some players may be put off by the difficulty of Super Meat Boy, but if you stick with it, then the sense of achievement when you overcome a tough level will keep you hungry for more. End quote. Personally, I haven't played this one yet. I tagged it on PlayStation Plus, but then my PlayStation Plus ran out, and I'm a broke-ass motherfucker, so it won't be coming back for a couple days, so there we go. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, it's challenging, but it's fun, and when you're able to, like he says, get that, like pass through that, I'm just messing up my words right now. When you're able to finish a level, you do get that sense of achievement, and it feels real good, so definitely a fun game to play, and it's free on Plus, so don't be broke like Kyle.
I still got it, I just can't play it right now.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's jump into those new releases. And first up, we've got the North American list. So, first up, we've got Corpse Party Blood Drive. It is $39.99. Farming Simulator 16 is really expensive, $34.99, which that is ridiculous. Anyways, Super Blackout, $4.99. 3/4 Home Extended Edition, $4.99, and WRC 5 for $29.99. Kyle, what are they getting over there in Europe land?
In Europe land, they're getting WRC 5. It's €39.99, £34.99, and $54.95 Australian dollars. And that's pretty much it.
Not too much over there, but maybe it's a good game. I don't know. I bought it, so I hope it's a good game.
Yeah.
I love WRC 4, so fingers crossed that WRC 5 is just as good with some extra features.
Indeed.
That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for.
True, true.
So, from the North American list, Kyle, is anything grabbing your attention?
Yeah, see, I'm really interested in Corpse Party, but I want to get the backstory first, and I'm not sure exactly what I need because I'm hearing conflicting things. So I gotta do more research into this one. But I might just watch YouTube videos and catch up and then get it because I don't really feel like playing old games.
Yeah.
As cynical as that is. Yeah, and I'm kind of interested in WRC 5, but yeah, again, that's low on my list. But the rest of them, not so much.
Oh, WRC 4, I need that platinum.
If it ever goes on sale really cheap, I'll buy it, Tyler.
And that's when they shut the
really
servers
cheap.
off and I can't ever get it. Anyways, we're going to jump into the news, and I'm going to warn you, we might try to go through these pretty quick because of my whole phone using internet to actually make us be able to podcast, so just be prepared.
Well, I don't think they're too bad. This one's got a lot of really short ones in it, so
Well, that's
not
good to
not too
hear.
many long ones. We shouldn't be too bad.
Well, all right. Let's get into it. Nippon Ichi took to this week's issue of Famitsu to reveal that their upcoming dungeon crawler Coven and Labyrinth of Refrain will release on January 28th, 2016 in Japan. The game starts off in a town of Refrain, a town which is both home to a labyrinth and a curse. A curse that cuts the lifespan of those who bear it by half. Players will play the role of a magical book by the name of the Way of the Monster as they follow a mysterious witch around the labyrinth. As you can imagine, you are unable to battle, well, because you're a book. Fortunately, you'll be able to control dolls who were created to aid the witch in battle. Sounds interesting, right? We'll be sure to update you on the title as we approach that January release date. The new details have been released for Square Enix's Dragon Quest Builders, a Minecraft-like block builder. Dragon Quest Builders is set in a what-if world where the hero says yes to joining the Dragon Lord. This was an actual option that players of the original Famicom title were given, where joining the Dragon Lord results in you receiving a share of half the world and a game over screen. This leads for the world to become dominated by the Dragon Lord, and in Dragon Quest Builders, a youth appears and stands up against the Dragon Lord and his tyranny, which is where the story of the game begins. In the latest information that has been revealed about the game, we learn that there are three main elements that come into play for restoring towns in order to revive the land of Alefgard. These are, in order to create new items, you'll need to defeat enemies and collect the material that drops. You can't bring back towns and villages unless you create new items. This will be done using materials acquired from monsters and gathered from the fields. With enough resources and items, you'll get to put together new buildings, which will be the first step in making towns. Dragon Quest Builders will also feature items called design plans that will allow for you to create buildings with ease. So those that struggle with all the block building, you will find this feature is perfect for you. Once you find a space where you would like to make your building, you can consult the design plans that will tell you exactly what is required and how to go about constructing. Following the plans and place the blocks as stipulated, and the building will complete before you know it. Moving on, we've also got news on two new characters, Rolando and Prin. Rolando is the son of the former mayor of Merkkid and has the Merkkid record. Though it's unknown what's exactly written, Prin is a girl who asks you, the hero, for various favors. Alright. Other details given were about the town and adventuring. While building your town, you'll gradually attract residents. You also gather information from them that will better help you to develop the town. When your town's development reaches a certain point, you'll be able to use the travel door, allowing you to travel to new lands. Lastly, during your adventure, you'll encounter monsters attacking other people on your travels. Additionally, there are plenty of new and or familiar monsters that will make an appearance in the game, with Skeleton, Drakey, and Droll already revealed. These enemies will occasionally form groups and attack your town, which will prevent you from furthering its development until you eradicate the danger. Dragon Quest Builders is set to release in Japan on January 28th. There has been no news as of yet on a Western release, but our fingers are crossed that this title does make the jump. Are you eager to play this title?
Yeah.
What, you are, Kyle?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you. Well, alright. Yeah.
Anywho, moving on. Some new details regarding the recently announced Sword Art Online Hollow Realization have begun to trickle out thanks to an interview in this week's Dengeki PlayStation with the game's producer Yosuke Futami. We now know the following. The concept began with the idea of wanting to make a game where you play as Kirito and start from level 1. Though things have changed, the current concept of the game is still along those lines. The idea is to have you play in a world that is like the early days of Sword Art Online, but as you advance, things will unfold differently since you won't actually be in the same world. The new world you'll play in isn't split into layers like Aincrad ends up, but is fully connected like a landmass. The game will have a battle system that uses a skill palette, and the Vita version will allow touch functions for using these skill palettes. There will be raid fights, and there will be plenty of elements involving management of party members. There will be no auto attacks, so no hollow fragment stupid junk there. That's kind of the worst thing about Hollow Fragment. You can jump. You'll have 3 additional allies in battle, making combo attacks and complex moves a real treat to use. The new heroine shown in the debut trailer and media is around 14 years old and is an AI character that will travel with Kirito and his party while her programming continues to mature, sort of like Yui in the anime, and there are plans for online multiplayer. While this by no means paints a full picture of what we'll see in the new title, the vague outline of inclusions and ideas found in the interview do give us a sense of where the game is headed. Seems like they want to give you more room to stretch out with the connected world concept, but they also seem to be tightening up abilities with the addition of jump, removal of auto attack, and the various battle tweaks. While there are even some signs that they are listening to player comments from past titles, as they've noted very quickly the inclusion of online multiplayer, which was something many Hollow Fragment players certainly asked for, right, Tyler?
Oh yeah.
Sword Art Online Hollow Realization is due in Japan sometime in 2016, with no news yet on a Western localization. Next up, Actil and PM Studios have announced 2 limited edition Super Beat Sonic releases for the North American region. Thanks to a press release by Actil, we can now announce 2 limited editions of Super Beat Sonic, both set to be available very shortly and in limited quantities. First up, we've got the exclusive collection, which includes a copy of the game and 2 exclusive soundtrack discs. Only 500 will be available, and they cost $50 plus $8 shipping and handling. Next, we've got the Exotic Collection, and it includes 2 soundtrack discs, a copy of the game, and 2 LP records with sleeve covers, all in a super sleek box. Only 450 will be available, and they'll cost $100 plus $15 shipping and handling. Pre-orders went live October 9th at 4 p.m. and are open to residents of Canada, the United States, and Mexico. They will be available exclusively from PM Studios' online store at superbeatsonic.ecwid.com. Next up, the Tokyo Game Show announced Second Evolution has been revealed as coming to Japan sometime during October. Set to feature a new theme song sung by twin duo Rina Eri, an increase in audio graphical quality, trophy support, and paid gameplay support DLC, for example, items, level ups, etc. This new iteration of Star Ocean Second Evolution is looking to come to Vita with style. Don't believe me? There's a teaser trailer on the site if you need further convincing. Star Ocean Second Evolution is due out sometime this month in Japan, with no word yet on a Western localization.
Alright, next up, another day, another release date announced for the Vita version of Kantai Collection Kai. Previous dated for, well, a shitload of release dates to be completely blunt, it appears that the long-awaited Battleship Girl game Kantai Collection Kai, or Kankol Kai for short, will now be hitting Japanese stores on February 18th. Let's hope this is the final release date announcement, shall we? Remember when Square Enix showed off that awesome trailer for Saga Scarlet Grace back at TGS 2015? Well, good news. It looks like the game could also be coming west. It's been recently spotted that Square Enix have recently trademarked the title of the game in Europe, which points to signs that the game could release in Western territories. This is by no means a confirmation that we'll see the title outside of Japan, but if we do hear an official word, then we'll be sure to let you know as usual. Darius Burst Chronicle Saviors has been given a physical release date in Japan, and luckily fans won't have too long to wait to get their hands on it. Priced at 6,264 yen for the standard edition and 10,584 yen for the art book bundling special edition, Darius Burst Chronicle Saviors will launch in Japan on January 14th. For those who don't know, or don't want, I can't read right now. For those who don't want to buy the game physical, a digital release is also scheduled. However, this will be before the end of 2015.
Alright, moving on. Koei Tecmo has announced Winning Post 8 2016, a new iteration in the horse racing game series for Vita. The game is slated for a Japan 2016 release and will feature cross-save with the PlayStation 4 version, but no cross-buy. Winning Post 8 2016 will have some system-level adjustments with different gameplay than before and a new number of super horses. Giddy up. Next up, adult visual novel series will be brought to the West thanks to Sakai Project. Earlier this year, a Kickstarter campaign was set up by Sakai Project with the aim of bringing the trilogy of Grisaya visual novels to the West. The campaign reached its $240,000 PS Vita stretch goal without difficulty. However, the final amount raised for the campaign came to $475,000 and change. We've already seen one part of the trilogy, titled The Fruit of Grisaya, released on PC in the West earlier this year, with parts 2, The Labyrinth of Grisaya, and 3, The Eden of Grisaya, set to follow in the near future. But it has been noticeably quiet on the PS Vita port. A recent update on the Kickstarter page from a new member of Sakai Project team called Audi has shed some light on the lack of new info, however, and has also pointed out some of the difficulties developers have in bringing games to PlayStation Network. Quote, in order to be approved, let alone have your titles viable to be put up on a service like PSN, requires a lot of paperwork. Not to mention legalities from Japan, cleared up GDD, game design documents, need to be made from scratch to fully explain the game inside and out. Content needs to be accurately presented and explained, and the list goes on, end quote. The most encouraging part of the post was the statement that the team have, quote, now been able to progress rapidly and should have some very good news for Grisaya fans in the coming weeks, end quote. So it seems like we'll not have to wait long for new information regarding the title's release on Vita. For those not in the know, the story behind the game centers around Yuji Kazami and his entry into Mihama Academy, a place with only 5 female students and prison-esque qualities. Told that every student in the school has their own circumstances, he's introduced into the population for a normal school life, but he's about to get more than he bargained for. Moving on. Marvelous Games has announced via Twitter that the European region, including Australia, can expect to see Corpse Party Blood Drive just a week later than their North American counterparts, the game landing there on the 20th. Here's the tweet, quote, ready for Halloween? Corpse Party Blood Drive coming October 20th to Europe and Australia. Get your copy now, end quote. We knew it was looking like an October release, but it's definitely nice to have some confirmation for those waiting.
Alright, next up, we finally have a date for Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, and with it comes details of pre-order bonuses. Bandai Namco has confirmed a North American release date for Cyber Sleuth, and it looks like we won't have to trudge too far into 2016 to get our hands on it. The game is set to release on February 2nd. In addition to the announcement of a release date, however, we've also got some pre-order bonus details for the region. Pre-order bonuses include a Taichi Yagami Agumon costume, a set of hero costumes for Agumon, Black Agumon, and Black Baboonmon, 2 exclusive Digimon Blast Mode Beelzebumon and Cherubimon, and a useful item kit including a Hunter USB, 2 full revives, and 3 10,000 XP Brave Point CS to use on your Digimon. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth is due out on February 2nd in North America and sometime during 2016 in Europe. It was only just over a week ago that we learned that Muv-Luv was a lock for Vita, but now we're back to tell you that it's getting a physical version as well. That's right, folks. According to the Muv-Luv Kickstarter page, you can secure yourself a physical copy of the game, which includes the entire trilogy, for an $80 pledge and a wait till next November. If the base game, the entire trilogy, but just the games isn't enough for you, then there's also the $150 pledge option, which will net you a signed collector's display box, a special art book, and the master OST on a physical DVD. Muv-Luv is currently set to hit PlayStation Vita in March with extra and unlimited storylines, and then in August for Alternative. It seems as if the wait for the physical version will be a little longer than the wait for the digital one, however, so keep that in mind. This week's issue of Famitsu has outed the Japanese release date for Koei Tecmo's Sexy Fighter. According to Famitsu, Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Venus is due out in the Land of the Rising Sun on February 25th, or just over 4 months from now. The good news, however, is that if you're looking to get a peek at the game now, then you're in luck. Nico Nico will be host to a Koei Tecmo livestream today, the 14th, which will show off the latest build.
Alright, home stretch here. 5PB has pushed back the release of Steins Gate Zero in Japan. Previously set for a November 19th release in the region, Steins Gate Zero has now been pushed back 3 weeks until December 10th, quality enhancements cited as the reason. Hopefully those 3 weeks are used wisely, as I hear they have a lot to live up to, especially if we look at Charlie's review. 5PB has also announced a new game based on the Is the Order a Rabbit manga in this week's issue of Famitsu. Based on the 4-panel comedy manga Is the Order a Rabbit, this new game from 5PB will depict the daily life at Rabbit House Cafe, but will be split into 2 distinct parts. The first part of the game will focus on the events that lead up to Chino Kafu's birthday, an emphasis on cafe managing and character interaction on this part. As for the second part, it's about preparations for the Christmas party, the story focusing on protagonist Coco Ahoto and whichever character got along with her best in the first part of the game. Is the Order a Rabbit Wonderful Party is around 50% complete and is currently set to release March 3rd in Japan, priced at 6,800 yen. And that's the news, Tyler.
No way!
Yes way!
Wow!
Yes. Yes, indeed.
We actually got that pretty quick. Through that pretty quick.
I know. And you know what?
What?
I'm going to pull a you.
Uh-oh.
I remembered a game that I played.
Oh, nice. And?
Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition.
Nice. That's a good
I had
one.
to get some of that in, and I had to get back into the whole groove of things. And while I was doing it, I found 3 new secret areas in the first level that I hadn't found before. So it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Anywho, moving on to talking points. We have announced release games we're looking forward to from the week. So what looks good, Tyler?
Oh, Dragon Quest Builders. I hope they announce that for the West.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. I'm down with that. Bring it on West.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't mention it, but I did pre-order that Super Beat Exonic or whatever, Zonix or whatever you say it, the limited edition.
Nice.
I pre-ordered it, the like $100 one. Yeah. Do I own a turntable or anything that can play records? No.
It's just for straight up looks.
Exactly. Actually, I think
Classic,
my girlfriend has
classic.
one, so I might steal it and try listen to it or something. But anyways, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, of course. I'm down for that as well. What else we got? I think that's about it. Steins Gate 0. I still haven't even finished Steins Gate, and I was all hype about that, and then I haven't touched it. So it's kind of depressing.
Tyler.
I got Persona 4 Dancing All Night, and
Tyler.
I have been playing through that. Now I got to do this review of that one game, Invoker's Tournament, and then
it's probably gonna be Trails.
yeah, it's
Feel like Christmas before you play it.
oh my god, this is ridiculous. Like, I've got so many games. It's terrifying. Anyways, yeah, that's about all I'm excited for, at least in the news. What about you, Kyle?
Well, a lot of things look good to me this week, although some of them definitely aren't confirmed for over here. As you said, Sword Art Online Hollow Realization, hugely excited for that, even though it hasn't been announced for over here. Don't care, I'm getting it either way. Super Beat Sonic, I'm very excited for that one as well. I've been posting a lot of the news on it, so I've been intimately detailed on how it plays and all this stuff, and it looks really cool, and I'm probably going to be reviewing that, hopefully, but we'll see. Also, what else do we have here? The Gruzaya trilogy. I wasn't too impressed with the anime, but usually with visual novel type stuff, the game is much better. So I'm kind of interested in that if it comes over here. They're obviously having these issues, but obviously they've also said it's it's in the works and blah blah blah. Look for news soon. So hopefully we've got good news.
Yeah.
Also, Corpse Party Blood Drive. I've said before I'm interested in that, but I got to catch up on the backstory. I'm excited that Cyber Sleuth got a release date February 2nd. So that's not super far away, but it's a little bit in the distance.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I got all these
yeah, I know.
to
I got games to play before then, but it's nice to have something at least solidified for 2016. That's gonna get the hype up. Also, Muv Love. I don't know. I'm interested, but at the same time, some of these storylines sound kind of crazy. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I'm scratching my head at this one. It's possible, but I'm not in any hurry to back that Kickstarter or anything like that.
Right.
Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Venus. I like Dead or Alive games, and this one is one of the sexier looking ones, so I'm down for that.
Hey, hey.
They haven't announced it for over here yet, but they're saying that if they get enough demand, then they'll consider it. So if you want Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Venus over here, bug Koei Tecmo, please. Also, Steins Gate Zero, they haven't announced it for over here, but I hear great things about the first one. I've been refraining from the anime because I don't want to be tainted. And yeah, hopefully it's as good as the first one, and I like it, and it comes over. And yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, Tyler, from what was there.
All right. Well, let's jump into the next thing here we got, and
All right.
that's the top downloads. September.
Uh,
What happened?
yeah. Well, some things. First of all, the excellent Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls, hit 8 in North America and 9 in Europe. So not as good as I hope, but at least a top 10 in both regions. The continued appearance of Hollow Fragment in the top sellers list is also a big proud thing of mine, even though it has nothing to do with me really. But it's in both top tens, number 2 in North America and number 8 in Europe. So gotta love that. And also, we've got that Europe again with their PSP games all over the board. So
Oh,
it's an
joy.
interesting list. Let's get to it and read through it real quick. So North America, top 10. They're not all fancy like Europe. We've got number 1, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater HD Edition. Obviously, that was because of the recent Metal Gear Solid release. Everyone was kind of jumping on board for that. Number 2 is Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment. Number 3 is Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. Number 4 is Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. Number 5 is Tyler's favorite, Minecraft. Number 6 is Borderlands 2. Number 7 is Hyperdimension Neptunia U, Action Unleashed. Number 8 is Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls. Number 9 is Heroes of Loot. And number 10 is the Ratchet and Clank Collection. As for Europe, they get all fancy with that top 20, but there's PSP games all over the place. So here we go. Number 1 is Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories PSP. Number 2 is Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories PSP. Number 3 is Tyler's favorite, Minecraft. Number 4 is Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker PSP. Number 5 is Resident Evil Revelations 2. Number 6 is Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars PSP. Number 7 is Terraria. Number 8 is Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment. Number 9 is Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls. Number 10 is Manhunt 2 PSP. Number 11 is One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. Number 12 is Midnight Club LA Remix PSP. Number 13 is God of War Ghost of Sparta PSP. Number 14 is The Warriors PSP. Number 15 is Tekken 6 PSP. Number 16 is Star Wars Battlefront 2 PSP. Number 17 is FIFA 15 Legacy Edition. Number 18 is Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. Number 19 is Gran Turismo PSP. And number 20 is Titan Souls. Now, what the hell, Tyler?
I don't know.
What are those Europeans thinking with all these Grand Theft Auto games and PSP games, Tyler?
I just wish they would just separate them. Like we don't need all them PSPs, but it also says something, and it's kind of upsetting that these PSP games are selling better than all these Vita games.
Well, to that effect, there are 11 PSP titles on that European top 20,
That's
and
interesting, but
2 of the top 3 are PSP titles.
yep,
Ouch.
yeah, but wasn't last month's like there was maybe one PSP game, so maybe these games are just on sale again or something.
I don't know. Even if they're on sale, though, that's kind of sad.
Yeah,
They're beating out the Vita games. I'm kind of disappointed.
yeah, but maybe
You,
it's all Vita owners buying these games again because they just want to have them. Who knows?
Even so, man. Even
Yeah,
so,
I'm
I'm a
trying.
little disgusted.
I'm trying to be that guy. That's just thinking the positive. Glass half full. Okay.
Sure,
Anyways, yeah,
sure.
there's some interesting things on there, but yeah, another month. Interesting month.
Buy some Vita games this month, people. Buy some Vita games.
I'm really
For freak's
excited
sakes.
and wondering how Lost Song is gonna do with how Hollow Fragment's been dominating the charts a lot. I'm interested to see if people make the jump to the next one.
Oh, I hope they do. I
And
hope they do.
even though it's gonna be physical and digital, so I'm curious about that, because a lot of people might just jump on it physical, so it might not show as much as Hollow Fragment has been. That's a
Yeah, I don't know. I think the
half full,
demand is
Kyle.
there.
Half
I
full.
think the reason that Hollow Fragment is still on the board is because it's digital. So I think maybe it would have been gone sooner if it was physical. But at the same time, I think it's still going to be up there.
Right. Well, there you go. That's the top downloads for September. Let's move on to the next thing we got here. And that would be Extra Life. We're going to talk about this every time because this is important and you guys need to know. But Extra Life is a thing where we play games for 24 hours straight, and I guess, not your job, but we'd appreciate it if you gave us some donations, and these donations go straight to children's hospitals, and we are supporting the Seattle Children's Hospital. And yeah, so we have our full schedule up. If you'd like to join us and see what we're playing, or just watch the live stream, we'll be streaming all day on, I think it's the 7th, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, November 7th, for 24 hours. Like I said, we've got the full schedule, so check on the site. It's extra-life.org. Just search the Vita Lounge team, and you should be able to see our full schedule and whatnot. So we're excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I don't want to be sick, because last year I was sick. It was terrible.
We're going to send Tyler to the doctor right beforehand.
I'm just going to go in, hey, doctor. He's going to be like, Extra Life? I'm like, yep. He's like, all right, let's figure it out. Anyways, yeah. We appreciate any of the support you guys can give us. And, of course, it's for the children. And that's really all the big reason why we're doing this. So
It's for the wee ones.
yeah. All right, let's get into that listener mail, Kyle, shall we?
All right. Sounds like a plan, Tyler. Do you want to take the first one?
Sure thing. We've got a message here from Otamaru at the Weepal, TheWipal. And they say, anybody picking up any upcoming Otome games? Kyle, you'd be a great one to answer this one.
Well, yes and no. I'm unsure about Nor 9, but I've already got Code Realized Guardians of Rebirth, which isn't out yet, so technically I've picked that up, which is upcoming. And I've still got Amnesia Memories to play through, which is fairly recent, so I'll throw that one in there as well. But yeah, I'm unsure about Nord 9, and I think the rest of them are far enough away that I haven't looked too hard yet. So we'll see. I'm definitely open to it. Not Tyler over here though.
I would be, but I just it's not for me really, and
He
there's
values
just too
his
many.
manliness.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I just got too many stuff to play right now, and it doesn't grab me enough, so not
Makes
for
sense.
me. All right, thank you for your questions, sir or ma'am. I don't know by your name, so you want to take the next one, Kyle?
All right, this next one's from Darley5 at John Darley, JON_Darley, DARLEY on Twitter, and they ask, should everyone upgrade to a 64 gig memory card? What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah. And I guess unless you're not really worried about getting a whole bunch of digital games, if you're all about the physical stuff, then I think a 32 could get you a long way. But if you're like Kyle or I, and you just need to have everything, or just have had the Vita for quite a long time, so you're just getting more and more stuff throughout the lifespan, then yeah, I think it's a great buy. It's expensive, but I think it's a good buy. Kyle?
All right. Should everyone upgrade to a 64
Oh,
gig
look
memory
at you
card?
picking away at
No.
that.
Not everyone, Tyler. Not everyone. But yes, pretty much anybody going digital, that should be your first step because who wants to spend money on memory cards and then have to upgrade later? Not us. Um, yeah, so if you're going digital, I'd go that way. If you're not going digital, however, I'd recommend at least a 16 still, just because sometimes patches and things can get pretty big, especially on some of those larger games. So you're gonna want to have that space to not have to mess around with, bubbles for physical games because that's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, I'd recommend at least a 16 kind of to secure your future with your physical games. Plus anything, cheap that's on sale that's digital.
All right. Thank you, John Darley, for your question. Let's jump into the next one. Our usual question person, Non-Skippo here, and he's got a two-parter. So, the first one. Now that the Muv-Love trilogy, he is obsessed with Muv-Love. every week, Muv-Love questions, but hey, that's all right. Anyways, now that the Muv-Love trilogy is available in a physical tier, do you anticipate more Vita owners jumping in? I guess we'll just answer that one real quick, Kyle. Do we?
Yes, of course.
All right.
That's being blunt about it, I guess. But yeah, it's not so much that it's available in the physical tier. I think the other big thing is that it's coming to Vita for sure. That was kind of a hurdle that people were iffy about, and now that it's coming to Vita for sure, and they've given us the option of the physical tier, of course there's going to be more people interested. People are
Right.
crazy for physical shit.
Like me, who
Yeah,
buys
like
games
this
just
guy.
because they're physical.
And doesn't even have a record player to play the stupid bonus
Shut
stuff. Why don't you go out and buy a record player for that?
Don't check my Amazon. No. Anyways, yeah, I agree with Kyle. Next part of his question. How optimistic do you feel this will lead to more Vita localizations? And he gives us a link to Square Enix considers crowdfunding localizations. Kyle?
All right, so I read through this little article, and it's basically a big quote from Square Enix Europe CEO Phil Rogers, just talking about how it's a good way to kind of go about things maybe in the future, and he calls it a very natural idea to kind of fund the process that way. So I'm not sure I necessarily agree with them because now all these publishers and shit are going to be wanting us to pay for their games when they have all this money, but at the same time, I'd consider it for some of the stuff that we wouldn't really get otherwise, or maybe would be kind of lower quality otherwise. But I don't know. It's one of the we've talked about it a little bit before. It's kind of a area where things could go really bad if it's kind of taken over by these companies, or even saturated by some, a couple of them or whatever. It could lead to some bad stuff. So I really wouldn't recommend the idea. But how optimistic do I feel? It'll probably lead to more than not doing it, but at the same time, I'm not sure it's a great idea. So I don't know. Square Enix, hopefully they know what they're doing. I don't necessarily have the confidence. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they just don't abuse that method. Because there's some games that deserve it, and then there's like... It'd be kind of weird if they put a Final Fantasy game up or something like that. It's like, come on. People are going to buy Final Fantasy. You don't need to have us pay for everything, So I think it will lead to more Vita localizations, but not just from Square Enix. I mean, any company out there could jump on this and be like, hey, you Vita owners, you interested? And we will tell them with our money. So, yeah. There you go. Thanks, Non-Skippo, for both your questions. Kyle, what do we got next?
All right, moving on. This next one's from Lorenzo Samaniego at ZOSAM32 on Twitter. and he asks, "What are your hopes for the PlayStation Vita at PlayStation Experience 2015? It revealed some decent coverage last year."
Well, hopefully we get something. Since I'm actually going to be going there, it would be disappointing, to say the least, if I got there and they don't have any Vita stuff there. Which, it's kind of scary, because I am spending quite a bit of money to go there, and PAX Prime, I mean, it had stuff, but they didn't have any Vitas on their show floor, like at least in the PlayStation booth areas. So it's a little scary thinking about that, but I mean, if they have anything, I'll be excited. I have a feeling Severed will be there, just because, but I want to see a decent display of stuff. So my hopes are just have a couple Vitas, please. Kyle?
Yeah, I don't think that's too much to ask for. What are my hopes? Personally, I'd like to see some new things announced. I'm not going to specify what, because really you can kind of come at me with anything as long as it's within my genre ranges, and I really wouldn't care. Um, I just think we need some coverage on one of these main events and where they're actually announcing some stuff for Vita. I think that would be nice to see, even though we know that Sony has pretty much all but dropped support since like a week after launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I just hope we get some announcements for Vita. That's my hopes.
Yeah.
My hopes aren't too high though, so temper your expectations.
All right. Thank you, Lorenzo, for your question. Well, let's jump into the last one here, and this is from Ellie Serafian. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. At the same thing, ELISARAFIAN. And they ask, what games do you want to be ported to the Vita?
All right, I'm pretty sure that's Eli Serafian, but just saying.
Ah.
Um, what games do I want to be ported to the Vita? Anything good that's coming out in the future. Let's put it that way. I'm not looking too far, into the back catalog for things, trying to get stuff ported to Vita. I play a lot of the stuff on other systems. There is obviously, stuff I missed, but I can't really think of anything offhand that I would like to be ported to the Vita, other than things we've said before, like Skate and stuff like that, which I think we are obviously missing. But yeah, just pretty much anything going forward that can be ported to Vita with quality, they should do it. Can't wait for that. I believe it's the Unreal Engine 4, something like that, being ported by the Bloodstained crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, anything good going forward. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I mean, of course, there's the games that we've mentioned before, like Skate, and me wanting those. Oh God, now I just blanked on it. I can't even think of it right now. But one that I know would never happen, just because of how good it looks on the PS4, would be Bloodborne. I would love to have like a portable Bloodborne.
Oh man.
Like, I wouldn't even care. Like, they just need to make another one. They just need to call it like Bloodborne Portable, and it just has its own story and everything. And
I know I'd play that. Even if it was janky looking, I'd play it.
Yeah, I'd be all over it. Anyways, yeah, pretty much everything Kyle said I'd have to agree with. So, looking to the more distant future than digging back them past games. But anyways, thank you, Eli. I'm sorry I butchered your name. All right, let's get on with it. We're going to jump into check this out, and it's something that I have to recommend, and that is going to be a game that's on sale right now. If you have PlayStation Plus, this game only cost you about $20, so go get it, girl. And that would be Lego Jurassic World. It is so much fun. I reviewed it on the site. Go check out the site if you're interested in it. I also platinumed the game. It is such a fun game. If you're a fan of the Lego series, then I don't see why you have not picked this one up yet. It's probably one of the best ones I've played on the Vita, so there you go. Go check it out. Yeah. I think it's time to get out of here, Kyle.
All right, sounds like a plan.
All right. If you've got listener mail or comments, contact us via mediaservices@thevitalounge.net. You can find everything we talked about on thevitalounge.net. the news, reviews, featured articles, store updates, podcast, a community forum, and a magazine, both digital and physical. You can support the site and get physical copies of the magazine via patreon.com/thevitalounge. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at The Vita Lounge. I'm at Mr. PSVITA Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. You can just search The Vita Lounge on Facebook. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/loungeplay. Kyle is going crazy on there, so check out his Killzone stuff and anything else he decides to work on. And go subscribe. He's killing it. Do it. Also, this podcast is available on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, YouTube, and via direct download on the site. So go subscribe to us on there, rate us, and let us know how we are doing. And that would be it for episode 97. We are 3 episodes away from episode 100. Can't wait.
Fuck Liam.
Oh. All right.
That was a good ender.
Huh. I got nothing.